I have to admit, when I first saw the source for this week, I thought, is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We usually get these like massive historical texts, and here I am with a 3-page Brothers Grimm story called The Lazy Spinner.
It does seem a little small scale, doesn't it? A little domestic spat.
Exactly. I was ready to talk about chores, but then I read it and
Mhm.
wow, this isn't about chores. This is
Yeah.
like a master class in psychological warfare.
It really is. The title is almost a misdirection. The lazy spinner makes you think of someone, just sitting there doing nothing.
Right. Passivity.
But she is not passive. She is working incredibly hard at not working.
That's the thing that got me. The sheer energy she puts into avoiding the spinning wheel is probably more work than just spinning the yarn in the first place.
It's a full-time job for her.
So let's set the stage a little. We're in a pre-industrial village. We've got a husband and wife. And the wife, well, she has a problem with the spinning wheel.
A big problem. The text is very clear. She hates it. And you have to understand, in that time, that's not just a personality quirk. That's an economic problem for the whole household.
Because spinning was, that's how you made everything, right? Clothes, things to sell.
It was the core of household production. So the text says that when she did spin, she wouldn't finish the job. She'd leave the yarn all wound up on the bobbin.
Okay, so I had to look this up. Why is that such a big deal? Why can't you just leave it on the bobbin?
Well, the bobbin is just like the temporary storage on the wheel itself. To do anything with that yarn, wash it, dye it, weave it, you have to get it off the bobbin and into a big loop, a skein.
I need a tool for that, a reel.
Exactly. So by leaving it on the bobbin, she's creating this bottleneck. She's just piling up useless, unfinished inventory.
And this is where the husband finally gets fed up. He sees this pile of bobbins and starts scolding her.
And this is her first move. She doesn't apologize. She doesn't make an excuse. She goes on the attack.
She blames the equipment.
A classic. She says, well, I can't reel it. I don't have a reel. If you want it done, you need to go chop some wood and make me one.
It's brilliant. She just flips the entire burden of labor right back onto him.
It's a stalling tactic. She probably thinks he won't bother.
But he calls her bluff. He says, fine. If that's all it is, I'll go to the forest right now.
And you can feel her panic in the text. She
Mhm.
realizes, oh no, my excuse is about to disappear. If he actually makes that real, I'm out of options. I'll have to work.
So she has to stop him. And this is where the story shifts from, like, a family sitcom into a full-on thriller.
It really does. She stalks him.
Yeah, she doesn't just argue. She physically follows him, creeping through the woods.
Hiding in the bushes, right under the trees, about to chop down. I mean, just picture the commitment. Crawling through the dirt just to get out of doing some spinning.
And the risk. What if he just, looks down? Honey, what are you doing in that bush?
The whole game would be up. But she's all in. She waits for him to raise the axe, and then she puts on a voice. A spooky, spirit of the forest voice.
And the rhyme she uses. It's intense. Je Haspelholzhaut, der stirbt.
Wer der haspelt, der verdirbt. Yeah. Who cuts real wood dies. Who reels is ruined.
She goes straight to a death threat. Dies, not you'll get a splinter or you'll have bad luck. Death.
It's shock and awe. She knows her husband is superstitious. The forest in these stories is always a place of magic and danger. A minor curse, he might ignore it. A death curse from an invisible ghost, that's a different story.
So what does he do? Does he run away screaming?
No, and this part feels so real. He stops, he listens, and then he tries to rationalize it. He thinks, oh, it's just my ears ringing,
He's trying to make the world make sense again.
Right. So he picks the axe up again to take another swing.
And she hits him with the rhyme again.
A second time, same words. And now the text says he's getting properly scared. Angst, bang.
But he still tries a third time.
He does. He's really fighting it. But the third time, the source says, she says it loudly. She drops the whole ghostly whisper thing and just shouts it. No more ambiguity.
And that's what breaks him.
That's it. He's done. He climbs down the tree and just goes home.
But she's not finished, which is maybe the most impressive part. She has to race him home.
Oh, yeah. She can't just stroll in after him covered in twigs. So she takes the back paths, the shortcuts, and sprints home so she can be sitting there, all innocent, when he walks in the door.
Ah, hi, dear.
Yeah.
Did you get some nice wood for that reel?
It's the perfect way to seal the lie. He's forced to tell her this crazy story about a ghost in the woods, and she can just look confused and sympathetic. The reel is now officially off the table.
So round one goes to the wife, but the problem of the yarn is still there.
Kicking the can down the road. Eventually you run out of road, time passes, and the husband gets annoyed all over again. The mess is still bothering him.
So he brings it up again. But now the reel is cursed, so she has to invent a new solution, this whole loft thing. Is that real? Did people do that?
In a throwing game, no, absolutely not. This is pure, on-the-spot improvisation.
So she tells him, okay, you stand up in the loft, and I'll stand down here. I'll throw the bobbin up to you. You throw it back down.
They're basically playing catch with it.
To unwind it into a skein.
The mechanics are absurd. It would be a tangled mess, but the psychology is genius.
Because he has to participate.
Exactly. He's no longer the boss watching her work. He's part of the ridiculous machine. He can't complain about the method when he's half of the method.
So they actually do it, and they get the yarn into a skein. Finally.
But it's not over. There's another step. The yarn has to be boiled.
Right. Why do you boil yarn?
It cleans the fibers, gets rid of oils and things, but most importantly, it sets the twist so it doesn't unravel. It's a crucial step. It's also hot, heavy, dangerous work over a fire.
So everything she hates.
The husband says, okay, it's skeined. Tomorrow we boil. And she agrees to his face, yes, dear, first thing tomorrow. But she's already planning her next move.
This is the climax, right? The boiling pot trick. And for me, this is where she goes from just lazy to, I don't know, a saboteur.
It's a huge escalation. She gets up super early, starts the fire, puts the big kettle on, but she doesn't put the yarn in the water.
She puts in verg. What is that exactly?
We'd call it tow. It's basically the garbage fiber from processing flax, the short, knotty, tangled up waste. It's useless. It looks fibrous, but it is not yarn.
So she's boiling trash.
She is. And then she goes back to her husband, who's just waking up, and she sets the most incredible trap.
She creates a prophecy.
A completely fabricated prophecy. She says, I have to go out. You need to watch the pot. But listen carefully. If the rooster crows before you've looked inside, the yarn will turn into tow.
She's literally predicting the thing she's already done.
It's a rigged, self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's brilliant. It creates this immense pressure and urgency, and it shifts all the blame to him. If it goes wrong, it's his fault.
And the husband, who we already know is maybe a little too trusting.
He completely panics, leaps out of bed, runs to the kitchen. He's literally racing against a rooster.
He throws open the lid to look in the pot. What does he see?
He sees a boiling clump of trash fiber.
But he doesn't think, my wife is playing a trick on me.
No. Because of her warning, he thinks, oh no, I was too late. The rooster crowed and it transformed. He thinks he just witnessed black magic happen because he was too slow.
That's just crushing. He's standing there feeling like he ruined everything.
The text says he stood there, moist and still.
Mouse still.
Utterly silent, just consumed by guilt. And the result, he never, ever mentions spinning or yarn to her ever again.
She won. Game, set, match.
Total victory. But look at the cost. The actual yarn is gone. She either hid it or threw it away. They're objectively poorer. She destroyed household assets to win this fight.
That's a great point. It's not a victimless crime. It makes you wonder, though, how much she must have hated that work.
It feels like a rebellion, doesn't it? A destructive one, but a rebellion. To go to those lengths.
And we talk about the risk of that last trick.
Yeah.
Because to me, the pot seems way riskier than the forest ghost.
Oh, way riskier. A massive gamble. If he just reached in and, touched it.
Right. He would realize it wasn't transformed yarn. It was just old, dry junk.
She was banking everything on his panic. It's like a modern phishing scam, Act now or your account will be deleted. You create urgency to bypass critical thinking. She engineered a panic state in her own husband.
So let's talk about him for a second. Is he just a fool? Or is something else going on?
It's easy to just write him off as dumb, but another way to read it is maybe on some level he wants to believe it.
Why would anyone want to believe their valuable yarn just magically turned into trash?
Because it ends the conflict. If the forest is haunted and the yarn is magical, then the fight is over. He doesn't have to be the bad guy nagging her to work anymore. The universe has stepped in and settled it.
So his mouse-still silence isn't just guilt. It might be relief.
Peace at any price. Even if that price is a pot of boiled garbage.
That changes the whole dynamic. Maybe they're both just trapped in the system of labor and looking for an out.
It's possible. Now, the story ends with the narrator sort of breaking the fourth wall.
Right. The narrator turns to the audience and says,
but you have to admit, she was a nasty woman. The German is garstig. Foul. Ugly. It invites us to judge her.
But do we? I mean, she is the hero of the story in a weird way.
She's the protagonist, for sure. She's the one with all the agency. She's clever, she's a brilliant improviser, she's a master psychologist. We can't help but admire the ingenuity, even if we don't approve of the methods.
It's the Ferris Bueller effect. He's a terrible person, but you root for him to get away with it.
Exactly.
So if we pull back, what's the big takeaway from this little story?
For me, it's about the power of narrative. The wife controls the story. She defines reality for her husband. She says the forest is haunted, so it is. She says the pot is magic, so it is. Whoever tells the better story wins.
It makes you wonder how many haunted forests we just accept in our own lives because someone told us a scary story about them.
Exactly. Or, oh, we can't possibly fix that problem. It's too complicated. Is it really? Or is someone just trying to avoid the work?
Laughs. I am going to be so suspicious of every excuse I hear now.
Just make sure you check the pot before the rooster crows.
Deal. Well, this has been fascinating. It's amazing what you can find in these little tales.
They stick around for a reason. They get at something true about human nature. The good, the bad, and the garstig.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave you with a final thought to mull over. The story wants us to call the wife nasty. And maybe she is. But you have to ask yourself, is the villain the person who tells a lie? Or the person who is so willing to believe that yarn turns into trash because a bird made a noise? If someone is that eager to be fooled, who really holds the power in that relationship?
That's a dangerous question.
It's the only kind we like. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.